All right, so quick heads up, this video is going to contain spoilers for lessons in chemistry, the book, and the show. So if you have not read the book or watched the show, keep on scrolling and come back once you have. All right, so with the warnings out of the way, let's dive in. The first couple of things I want to talk about are the differences between the show and the book. So I watched the show first. So naturally, like in the back of my mind, I knew some things that were coming up. And naturally, I compared them. So the first thing is Calvin's death. So in the show, he gets hit by a bus real quick, sudden, boom. But in the book, I mean, yes, it was a sudden death, but it was much more traumatic. Like, first he fell because like the leash kind of like snapped, or not snapped, but it just something happened because 630 was going this way and Calvin was going that way, and he fell and hit his head, right? So he was bleeding. That's bad enough. But then he gets run over by a cop car. Like, talk about traumatic. I mean, that was not necessary. And then, like, he didn't even die right away. So then the cops got out and saw him, and like it took a little bit for him to die. I'm just like, that just felt, I know I didn't see it, but it just felt so much more traumatic than just because in the show he gets hit by a bus, you would just assume that it was like basically instant. Still incredibly sad no matter which way, but I was like, damn. The second main difference was all of the civil rights stuff that was in the show was missing from the book. And I feel like it was such a big plot point and story in the show that I'm surprised that there was none of it in the book. The only thing mentioned in the book was on her show she held up a pamphlet and said that, she stood with the civil rights movement or something to that effect, but there was no mention of like none of the neighborhood stuff where she attended the march, like none of that. So I was really surprised, especially because all that was happening in the 60s. I really love how Elizabeth inspired women to like push the boundaries and break through barriers and, follow their dreams and things. And like she taught them and made them feel smart because, a lot of women in those days were told like, you are this, and you're not to do anything outside of that. You're not smart enough. You're not, capable enough, whatever. And I just really love how this character represented like breaking through all of that. And another reason that like this is why I wish I could watch Supper at Six, because it just seems like a really good show to have in your life. I also really love the whole pencil stabbing thing, and that she said this in the show too, but she was like, her one regret to the cop was that she didn't have more pencils. And I'm like, I feel you, girl. I feel you. So if I missed any of your favorite moments or big differences between the book and the show, let me know in the comments.